Late Deputy ANC Women's League President Lungi Mnganga-Gcabashe has been described as a dedicated leader who was unapologetic about fighting for the liberation of women. Let's cross to Simphiwe Makhanya, who's in Westville for more. Simphiwe, very good morning. Obviously, she's going to be laid to rest today. Tell us where you are, the order of proceedings as the day unfolds, and that official funeral gets underway.
Absolutely, Lizzle. In fact, we are coming to you live from her home here in Westville in Durban, where she sadly passed away on Saturday. You'd recall, of course, that since those news broke, a number of leaders, particularly from the ANC, have been visiting the home just to send their words of comfort to the family, their words of condolences. At about 8 o'clock this morning, we are expecting that the body will then leave the home straight to the Nkosi Albert Luthuli International Convention Center in Durban, where the funeral is going to be taking place. But Lizzle, allow me to interact with someone who has known the former deputy president of the Women's League, Lungi Mnganga-Gcabashe, for quite some time, because he's also a neighbor. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Mshengu. From what you know her to be, how would you describe her and the relationship that she had with people around this area?
Thank you very much. Sis Lungi was such a very humble person, a very loving person, a caring person. She would not actually carry herself as such an important person just because she is a member of parliament or a deputy president of the Women's League. But she would just behave just like any other ordinary neighbor here. So we will miss her simply because of her courageous participation in the affairs that affects our community, in particular our neighborhood here in Somerset Drive. So in that regard, we send our deepest condolences. But for me personally, I had a very close relationship with her, having known her for more than 32 years. From the ANC activities up until coincidentally we happened to live next to each other here. She came here probably 5 years before me, and when I came to reside here, she was already here. And she has held my hand on a number of instances during my own difficulties, and she has always been a mother to me, a sister to me, a leader to me.
Briefly, Mr. Mshengu, just her contribution within the ANC. Now, of course, you come from the very same political home.
Comrade Lungi was an organizer of the ANC, a full-time organizer of the ANC. She knew each and every branch in the Durban West region. She knew each and every branch leader. She would visit our BECs. She would do the work that you would hardly imagine that a female would do. And therefore we owe our strength and we owe our current state of the movement in terms of its growth and in terms of its acceptability in society through her courageous participation. And therefore her rise even at the leadership level, from being a regional chair of the Women's League, the provincial chair, the NEC member of the ANC, and the deputy president, of which she departed being a member of, or rather being in that position. We really feel so sad that she could not even finish that term, but we cannot even question God, because at the end of the day, our lives are just about to be decided upon by Him at some point.
Mr. Mshengu, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
That's Mr. Mshengu, who is a neighbor of the former deputy president of the Women's League, Lungi Mnganga-Gcabashe, there sharing just some memories of her and also just the qualities that she possessed. Of course, we have been, hearing from a number of ANC leaders at national level as well as at the provincial level who have hailed her, for being a fearless and a dedicated, servant of the people. Of course, you recall recall that she was also the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Tourism in the National Assembly, a position that she occupied really since 2024. That is the situation as it happens here outside her home. Of course, the funeral service is going to take place at the Durban ICC. That is expected to start at about 9 o'clock, where the president of the ANC, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, is expected to deliver the eulogy. It's over to you in studio for now, Lizzo.
All right, thanks, Simphiwe, for that update. Of course, we will monitor those developments as the funeral gets underway. Simphiwe, Makhanya, bringing us the latest.